Hello and welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. I'm your host, Ryan Meza, and I'm joined here with Adam Chronister, and he is the founder of Enleaf here in Spokane. Thank you so much for joining me today, Adam.
My pleasure. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. So Enleaf, you started this up back 10 years ago.
Yeah, around 2009.
2009, okay. So going into the 11th year here, and it's a Spokane-based SEO and web design company.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of tell me how you started it and what kind of started this idea of yours?
Yeah, so as mentioned, we've been in operation since around 2009. My background is originally in software development. So shortly out of college, I worked for a large software development company and was primarily doing like project management there. Being that it was a startup, in a startup phase, they didn't really have anyone doing marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And being young and aggressive and out of college, I was like starting to dabble with social media. Twitter was just kind of relatively new. And on top of my existing duties at that venture, I said, hey, I could help put together some marketing strategy. And of course, if you do that kind of thing in an early startup, people are like, sure, no one else is doing it,
please.
have fun. So that really kind of whet my appetite in the realm of digital marketing.
Yeah.
Around that time, I also realized that although I went to school primarily for software development, I didn't really enjoy staring at code all day.
Mm-hmm.
And so since then, I've really worked with developers that really love the code. And I spend a lot more of my time personally on the digital marketing side, but of course the web and everything else flows into that. So having that background has been helpful to kind of develop and grow, where we're at today. So.
Yeah, most definitely. And I feel like you guys have definitely grown a lot. You started out here in Spokane, kind of working in your own backyard, but you mentioned earlier you kind of had gone global and been helping other people across the world.
Yeah, we've helped businesses all across the U.S. and even some abroad. So. While we love our local clients for sure, we're by no means restricted to clients in the Spokane area. We actually have quite a few over on the other side of the state right now, as well as kind of Midwest and just scattered about. So.
Yeah, all over the place you'll find Enleaf. That's awesome. And I know you guys kind of work with small to mid level businesses locally and globally. Yeah. And I know you kind of specialize in SEO strategies.
Right.
That's search engine
optimization.
Okay, got it.
So
awesome.
kind of
Thank you. I couldn't say that for some reason. But can you just tell me what that is and how that kind of benefits businesses?
Yeah. So essentially what search engine optimization is it's all of the tactics around how your website shows up in what's called organic search.
Okay.
So the natural placements. So typically if you're going to go on, say, Google, you're going to see a number of different things in the results. Mm-hmm. Typically the first few position areas are paid results, meaning somebody paid for that position.
Yeah.
The results that come usually lower in that are what are called organic results. And so many of us don't stop to think about, well, why does this website show up above this? Mm-hmm. However, there are a number, like literally hundreds of different factors that go into how one website ranks over another. Mm-hmm. And what we do is kind of develop strategies to help influence that.
Nice. Okay.
And the interesting thing about those two dynamics when it comes to like paid search versus SEO or organic search is kind of how different audiences relate to those.
Yeah.
Roughly around 30% of people will click on ads in search, and usually the other percentage will go to organic. Mm-hmm. So it's good to be in both of those positions, and we do actually help people in both of those verticals.
Yeah.
But I would say probably where we stand out in the industry is with that search engine optimization aspect.
Okay, that's awesome. I didn't even know any of that. That's so cool. I didn't even know like the paid. Like you can get your placement up on like Google or something like that. Wow,
it's becoming more obfuscated in that Google makes a lot of their money from those paid positions. Yeah. They make less so from the organic positions. Mm-hmm. But users, for the most part, a lot of people skip ads and will just go. They recognize them for what they are.
Yeah.
So it's funny. Next time you're talking to somebody, I always like to ask them, like, do you click on those ads or do you
Yeah.
skip them? And a lot of them will say I skip them.
Yeah.
Sometimes older demographics will click on them, and also it always also varies depending on the business need and
Yeah,
the
I'll
situation.
skip them. Yeah, I skip them all the time. That's awesome. I know you kind of led a seminar last week with SEMrush, and you kind of talked about and answered questions on how to stay ahead of the curve of like digital trends and marketing. Can you tell me like about the new trends that people should know about going into the digital marketing?
Sure. So, I mean, there's so many that's it's really hard to keep track. I know one thing that Google particularly is rolling out is this. It's called Web Vitals, and really, when you break that down, and this is actually a newer change to their algorithms that are coming out, early 2011. But in reality, it all feeds back into where they're taking things, and it all really revolves around mobile. So the shift from web, or desktop to mobile has been growing incrementally. Where 10 years ago, most of our experience with websites and the web in general was on a desktop. Now, I look at my wife, for instance. Outside of her job, she doesn't ever engage with the web on a desktop. She's on her mobile phone, maybe a tablet. And so Google, being the largest search engine provider out there, has also shifted how they organize their data based on this transition to mobile. So I would say, in a nutshell, that's the biggest change that we're seeing, is that the mobile aspect of your website or your web entity has a lot more impact than it ever did before.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that's very true. I was just trying to think about myself and like the things I do. I'm barely ever on like my laptop or anything. I'm always just like quick on my phone on the go. Definitely with my generation, I feel like we're always on the go. So kind of transitioning into that.
I take it for granted because of what I do. I'm in front of a desktop all the time. But even with our business, we have to always remind ourselves, like, most of our clients and their clients are interfacing via mobile. So we have to design the websites to work around that. So that's everything from user interface, user experience, load times. All of those things go back into how Google organizes who ranks over who.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that play a role, I can tell. Especially now, I feel like a lot of people working from home, they're in front of their computer, and I kind of wanted to talk to you about that in your business due to COVID. I know that it's very beneficial for you guys being a digital marketing company. So have you guys had any like increase or decrease in clients?
I would say, honestly, for us, business has jumped quite a bit.
Good. Good for you guys.
Yeah, I think when this first kind of rolled down the lane, a lot of people, things, for about a month there just got really quiet. And I think it did for just about everybody, because, now we're 6 months plus into this, and people are starting to get accustomed. But I would say maybe a month, 2 or 3 after, COVID kind of came around, we were getting phone calls left and right. And really a lot of it was businesses realizing, like, okay, we really need to shift our business, take things online. We're doing a lot of work for businesses that are either revamping their products, making them more virtual, or trying to engage in e-commerce. So maybe they only sold through brick and mortar, or maybe most of their business was handled almost traditionally, where you place an order, but it's like, now we need to be able to allow our customers to purchase online. So e-commerce is exponentially growing faster than it probably would have before because of this. Yeah,
exactly. And I feel like people are paying a lot more attention to detail with their website and how they're marketing themselves, just because we are relying on that digital and virtual setting right now during this time. So that's good to hear that you guys are getting some increased clients and stuff like that.
We've had a couple clients that we've had to make quick changes, like really kind of revamp their business.
Really?
Two clients in particular whose business models really relied on people getting together.
Yeah.
One dealt in the realm of education and assembly shows, and another in business retreats and team building.
Yeah,
and so these are all
that's hard.
Yeah, these are all services that require people getting together. So in both of those situations, they had to scramble overnight and be like, okay, now all of a sudden we need to convert our services to a virtual service or a product. And luckily, I think with our help and their own ingenuity, we've been able to weather that very well. But unfortunately, there's other businesses that aren't having as much luck in that scenario.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like you guys are such a helpful source for people. And what are some ways that people can get in contact with you or kind of set up a meeting to hopefully get their business up and going through Enleaf?
Well, probably the easiest way is just to visit our website. So that's enleaf.com. It's I like to say Enleaf.
Okay, yeah, right.
So visit our website. Not only are we more than happy to talk to you, try to understand your business. We have a number of free tools that we offer to the public that are just free to use.
Yeah, awesome.
So we focus quite a bit on not only SEO but like content curation, and so we have a headline analyzer. We have a free website grader. In fact, I set up a promotion. So if you go to enleaf.com/Spokane Talks, we'll actually offer you a free website grade report as
cool.
As a bonus.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys are doing great things. I'm just reading some of my notes here. You guys were rated top 10 SEO firms by the International Business Times.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
We were honored to be a part of that.
Also rated one of the top 10 West Coast SEO firms as well. So you guys are definitely making some noise here in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm wishing you guys the best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Adam.
My pleasure.
That's all the time we have here today at the Pulse of Spokane. I'm your host, Ryan Meza. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.
Well, this is Looms Day in Spokane. We got about 40 firefighters and their friends and family handing out 40,000 cups of water as the day goes by.
It's a very good opportunity to see the public and support them and help them out and cheer them on during Bloomsday.
It's one of the best things about Spokane is that we have these major events and the whole community comes together not just to participate but to volunteer and show that they really care about our city and making our city look great.
This type of an event really is emblematic of Spokane because so many people get involved. We have 50,000 people probably running this race. Always has been a very huge event.
Right now we're at the corner of Broadway and Nettleton. It's the last water station before the finish, so people are pretty much dehydrated by the time they get to us. They really need our water.
The water stations are a vital part, especially on warm days like today. It's real important that we have the volunteers to help with that. Without the volunteers, Bloomsday wouldn't exist.
All up and down the course, there are people that are involved in this celebration. It really is a celebration of what Spokane's all about.
Welcome to Apex Plaza, Spokane's one-stop cannabis destination. Apex Cannabis features thousands of economy, value, and luxury cannabis products. Cannagear features hemp-based CBD products, glass, goods, and gear. Stop by 1325 North Division to experience the Apex difference.
This product has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug. There may be health risks associated with the consumption of this product. For use only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children.
The economy is getting stronger, banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.